Hello, Jessica Frost-Ballas here with a video introducing the revolutionary Stencils 360 from Penguin Palace Stamps. The Stencils 360 is a new stencil system that allows you to create patterns and designs using circular stencils. And actually, I figured out that there's a way to use this with all your current square stencils, but I'll share that in a future video soon. Anyway, let's get started. First, I'm going to briefly explain the Stencils 360 and how it works, and then I'll show it in action. If you have any questions while watching, please feel free to leave a comment and I'll answer as soon as I can. To start off, the Stencils 360 package comes with the main base that you can see I've taped to my Tim Holtz craft mat, and then a bunch of pieces that fit inside the base, including 6 clear paper positioners that you can see here. They're all designed for different sizes of cardstock in various squares, and also the standard A2 panel size. They're clearly marked on the positioner, but I'm using that piece of white cardstock to make it easier to see in the video. It also includes 3 guide rings that fit 4, 6, or 8-inch stencils. The Stencils 360 package also comes with a stencil and adhesive eraser, though it's not the stencil I'm using in today's card. All of the stencils are marked with a symbol that shows you how to rotate it along the base to create different designs. You can see that this particular stencil has a heart, and you can see hearts all along the base ring. Anyway, those are all the pieces. Now let me show you how it works. Today I'm using the Sacred Lotus stencil to create my card. This is a multi-barrel stencil, meaning you can use any combination of the 3 stencils to create a variety of patterns. I'm using the larger 2 barrels for my design today. On my blog, you can find an image of all the barrel options and what they'll look like in different combinations. First, I taped my base onto my glass mat for easy cleanup. Then I placed the 6-inch square paper positioner inside the base and lined the arrow on the paper positioner up with the arrow at the top of the base. I apologize that I didn't realize my desk light was shining directly on the top section of my mat, but hopefully you can get the idea. Lining up these arrows ensures that your paper will be in the correct spot to get started. I apply temporary adhesive to the back of my cardstock that I've cut to a 6-inch square and place it inside the opening on my paper positioner ring. I press it to make sure it's adhered to the glass mat, and then I remove the clear paper positioner. The stencil I'm using today is an 8-inch circle, so I place the 8-inch guide ring into the base. Again, I line up the arrow on the top of the guide ring with the arrow on top of the base. There are 4 little box markings on the 12, 3, 6, and 9 o'clock positions of the guide ring, and those are where you can place painter's tape or washi tape to hold the guide ring in place while you work. Now I'm ready to start stenciling. I take the solid layer of the Lotus stencil and start by lining the heart up with the top of the base where there's another heart. Then I blend cracked Pistachio Distress Oxide ink over the stencil. As you can see, there are solid and outline hearts indicated around the edge of the base. These are the guides that you'll use for stencil placement. After I finish blending, I move the stencil so that the heart on the stencil is lined up with the heart on the 3 o'clock position of the base ring, and I blend again using the same color. Once I'm done with this color, I clean off the stencil with a baby wipe and a paper towel. Next, I place the stencil back in the base, but this time I shift it 1 heart over from my original starting position. I blend Peacock Feathers Distress Oxide ink over the stencil, and then shift it 1 heart over from the 3 o'clock position and blend again. Then I clean my stencil again. I repeat the process using Blueprint Sketch and Chip Sapphire, using the hearts on the base as my guide for where to line up the heart on my stencil. Now yes, you could technically sit down with a ruler and mark where to line up your stencil if you wanted each point to be 11.25 degrees apart, or you could eyeball it and hope for the best. But seriously, this is so much simpler. And I love that while Sharon gives a suggestion of what symbol to use when stenciling, the heart in this example, you could also go off script and use whatever degree interval you'd like. And changing the intervals will totally change up the final design. So now that my base layer is complete, I let the oxide ink dry a bit and then repeat the process using the top detailed layer. As you can see, the design on this stencil and the heart is lined up slightly differently from the design on the previous stencil. As a result, the top layer is slightly offset from the bottom layer, giving it a really interesting geometric design. I use blending brushes for the softer bottom layer and blending foams for the top layer to give that sharp contrast. I'll admit, I was a bit skeptical when this arrived on my doorstep because it felt like a lot of pieces, but when I actually sat down and tried it out, I was really impressed with how well thought out it is and all the cool ways I can see this being used for stencils I already own or stencils that can be designed to use with this guide in the future. Once you actually look at the pieces, it's also really easy to use. This is actually my second attempt using it, and I only had to throw away my first one because I didn't use enough adhesive on the back and it moved when I was blending. But really, anybody can use this. Anyway, my blending is complete, so I removed the guide ring and pulled up the blended panel. I dried it with my heat gun and then removed the temporary adhesive on the back. I trimmed the piece down to an A2 panel so that I could have that offset design, and then finished the card with a new sentiment die from Penguin-Pallas stamps and a few enamel dots. And that's it! You can find more information on the products I used in the YouTube description below, and head over to my blog to hop along with us for a chance to win a gift card to Penguin-Pallas stamps. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, have a fabulous day and happy crafting! Bye!